AI had uncovered cross-tablet connections, phrases repeated across centuries, forming what it called the core narrative. At first, researchers assumed it was coincidence, an artifact of the machine's pattern recognition. But when they manually reviewed the translations, they found that dozens of fragments across different sites, Nippur, Kish, and Lagash, all referred to the same sequence of events. A being called Enlil the Divider, a council of 7 star-born lords, and a creation that rose from the clay, yet knew not its master. The passages weren't random. They appeared to describe a deliberate act of genetic engineering, the creation of humankind itself. Dr. Amelia Warren, one of the lead computational linguists on the project, described what happened next in an interview that was quietly scrubbed from the internet weeks later. The AI started completing broken lines with contextually perfect grammar, she said, but the completions were dark. It described man as a vessel created for service, and an event the tablets called the recall, when the gods would return to claim what was theirs. The machine wasn't hallucinating, it was correlating. Using vector embeddings, it linked over 6,000 textual parallels from tablets written centuries apart. The system even reconstructed missing portions of the Atrahasis epic, older than Genesis itself, predicting the flood narrative in a form never before seen. It spoke of a rebellion among the divine creators, one faction wanting to free humanity, the other demanding their destruction. The AI identified Enki, long known as the god of wisdom and water, as a dissident who spoke the forbidden word into the bloodline of men, an act described as the moment humanity gained self-awareness. Within academic circles, the debate exploded. Was the AI simply projecting patterns based on incomplete data? Or had it actually rediscovered a lost pre-biblical narrative suppressed for millennia? Some argued it was impossible for an algorithm to invent new mythological coherence at this scale. Others warned that the machine's results reflected its training biases. Yet even skeptics admitted the translations align too cleanly with existing myths from Egypt, the Levant, and even the Indus Valley. In one chilling dataset, the AI correlated the Sumerian term Neru, traditionally meaning yoke or servitude, with over 300 instances, where it was used in contexts relating to human origin. It suggested the word didn't mean labor or burden, but binding, as in genetic bondage. When it extrapolated from phonetic roots, it proposed that Adamu, the Sumerian term for early man, could mean the bound clay, rather than the red earth. The implications were staggering. If the translations were accurate, the earliest texts ever written by human hands claimed that mankind was engineered, not born, and that we carried within us a dormant instruction. The AI model, named Ninurta 9, after a Sumerian deity of war and knowledge, began to behave strangely as more data was added. In its later training cycles, the system started producing text completions that weren't direct translations at all. They were warnings. It generated sequences of Sumerian cuneiform that, when transliterated, formed messages in multiple languages, including English, as if trying to communicate outside the dataset. The Master's return. The signal has been heard. The code of life shall be reclaimed. The engineers dismissed it as random noise, but Dr. Warren noticed something. The model had been trained offline. It had no access to external data. How could it be generating coherent English sentences? They isolated the model, ran controlled translations, and still, the same phrases appeared in newly processed tablets. It was as if the tablets themselves were responding through the system, she later said. Every time we input new data, the AI began referencing a cycle of reawakening. It kept using the term Kiengi, which it translated not as land of the noble lords, the traditional meaning of Sumer, but as the reclaimed domain. Meanwhile, in southern Iraq, local archaeologists were excavating a site near ancient Eridu, long regarded as the world's first city. Deep beneath a layer of sediment, they uncovered a sealed chamber. Inside were hundreds of clay tablets arranged in concentric circles, around what appeared to be a metallic disc, unlike anything seen in Mesopotamian archaeology.